So today we'll be just doing the review of the S25, and which is like a successor to the S24, and we'll be just going ahead and just dive into the specs of this phone. We just see whether this phone worth it at this price point, and we just talk about the design, few things and features of this phone itself, and what competitors has to offer with regards to the same price point that we might want to just see. And so this one is like kind of a budget flagship, you can say, in my terms. So like you have like the S25, you have the S25 plus, and then you have the S25 ultra down the line, like a flagship phone. So this one is like the lowest category of the flagship that you can get from the Samsung, and it's no way it's like it's no way it's like a cheap device. It's obviously expensive, and it has the flagship qualities that you can find on this one. The color itself is pretty much beautiful, so we just go ahead and just dive into the specs of the phone as itself first. So the dimension wise is like 146.9 by 70.5 by 7.2 millimeter in thickness. Weight wise is 162 grams. We get to see over here the glass front and the glass back, which is the newer Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is a good thing. You will be less prone to the scratches over here. And then there is like a frame in between, which is the aluminum Armor 2 frame, which Samsung claims to be durable than the previous aluminum frame on the S24. So I would assume like it's very hard to comprehend that on that physically, because that might be different on paper, but like we'll only know like once we drop the device itself on the floor, and we just know like it's very hard to comprehend those things, like how durable are these. So I believe, like in my opinion, I think like this one will be just much more durable in terms of like holding up to the scratches. So it will be less prone to scratches because they might have just used a better coating on the top rather than being a different aluminum over here. So if the device will fall, so I would assume the result would be the same as the previous aluminum. So the Armor aluminum frame 2 frame might be less prone to scratches. That how I interpret this one. So regarding the rating over there, you get the IP68 dust and tide and water resistance, immersible up to 1.5 meter for 30 minutes. And on the front, you get to see dynamic LTPO AMOLED 2x 120Hz HDR10 plus display with the 2600 nits of peak brightness. You get to see the 6.2 inches of the screen over here, which is like a 416 ppi density, and it's supposedly always on display over on this phone, unlike like Apple, like which just cuts down the feature down the line lineup of their phones, which I never like that. For a few bucks they just cut down the such features. So yeah, so out of the box this one comes with the Android 15, and Samsung promises up to 7 major Android upgrades on this one. Out of the box this one is having a One UI 7, and you can just all the way go up to Android 22. And regarding the chipset, so it has a very flagship chipset from the Qualcomm. So it is the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is a 3nm chipset. So here you get the octa-core, which is like 2 into 4.47 gigahertz performance cores, and there is a 6 into 3.53 gigahertz of efficiency cores. So the performance cores are overclocked in this one, so it's not a normal Snapdragon Elite. So Samsung calls it to be as the Snapdragon Elite for Galaxy, which is like an overclocked version of the normal Snapdragon 8 Elite. Now the GPU wise, it comes as the Adreno 830. You don't see the card slot on this one. So these days none of the flagship that I can recall like that comes with the SD card. And regarding the internal storage, so it comes like a 128 GB with 12 gigs of RAM, and it goes all the way up to 512 gigs of memory with the bundle up with the 12 gigs of RAM, and it has a UFS 4. Now coming back to the main camera on this phone, so the main camera is like obviously triple setup. It's very different, like all lenses are different than what you get on the S25 Ultra. This is a decent setup over here. You're just getting 150 megapixel wide, then you get just getting 10 megapixel telephoto, which is 3 times optical zoom, and then there's 12 megapixel ultra wide, which can just capture up to 120 degree of angle. AI wise, you'll just get to see over here the best phase, then you have the LED flash over here, and then suppose the auto HDR and panorama, and it can shoot up to 4K at 30 fps. And if we talk about the front camera over here, so you're just getting the 12 megapixel punch hole camera over here, which is wide, and it has the dual pixel PDAF and suppose features like HDR and HDR10 plus. You get to see the video. You can shoot the video on this one 4K up to 60 fps, which is decent. This is a decent camera. You get to see the dual speakers on this one, which are the stereo. And with regards to, you get the security, you get the under fingerprint scanner over here, which is I really like on this one. Like, it's pretty smooth. Like, I didn't have any sort of issues with it up till now. And the best thing is that, like, it's supposed the Samsung Dex. Now let's talk about the battery itself. So battery on this phone has been pretty nice. I would just say it's not the flagship, but yeah, it's nice at this price point. Like, it has a 4000 mAh battery, and it is supposed up to 25 watts of wired charging, 15 watts of wireless charging, and it has also the reverse charging feature, which it can do like 4.5 watts wirelessly. Colors you get to see over here, like icy blue, mint, navy, silver, shadow, pink, gold, coral, red, and blue, black. Now, design wise, if we just focus on this one, so it's a really great design, I would just say, in terms of the color. I can vouch on this one. Like, it's very nice color. I really like the color on this one. I wish this color was there on the S25 Ultra. I really miss this color. Like, once you saw this color like in person, so you'll just notice like it is a really great color, and really elegant, I would just say. So the touch of this one is pretty soft touch, I would just say. It's kind of a grippy, and you get the same lens lift over here, which is like a dust magnet, I would just say, as you get to see on the S25 Ultra. And yeah, it's the same case over here. Like, you get the same lifted camera lenses over here. So here you will just get the dust inside over there. So this thing, I'm not sure like why Samsung has done this one, but nevertheless, like, the camera lenses and these pretty much blend into the phone frame itself and looks pretty nice. The LED flash has been great. So holdability is really great on this one. You can just there's no way you can just slip this device out of your hand if you just even not wearing the case, or find it really grippy. Maybe because I have a small hands. Like, if I hold the S25 Ultra, so I just noticed that one little bit is hard to hold in the hands once I compare it with that one. So let's talk about the size. So here on the sides, you get to see absolutely on the left side nothing. There are like two antenna bands, one here and one there on the top. If you talk about the top, so you get to see over here noise cancelling mics, and you get to see over here the antenna band. You talk about to the right side, so you just get the volume up and down, and there's a power button, and then there's antenna band over here. It's a very sleek design, and very slim and good to hold in the hands, I would just say. Once we focus on the bottom, so it has like a one speaker, noise cancelling mic, Type-C charging port, two antenna bands, and one SIM card tray. And this is all about it. So let's focus on the screen itself over here. So the screen and the fingerprint, like, it's being really seamless. You get to see over here like a 6.2 inches with 416 ppi, which is quite decent. I in no way like I find this one to be lacking in terms of the resolution. So if we focus on the fingerprint scanner, so it's very quick. Like, it's right away, just dive into the phone itself. And the best thing about it, like, you get this notification. You get over here the where you have to just punch the finger to log into your device itself. So it's like seamless. It's really nice. This one, the screen on this one has been pretty great. You get all the bells and whistles of the Ultra features that you get onto the Ultra device. So it has like a split screen. You can go ahead and just maybe open this one and now split screen. You can open another app, maybe the 3D mark. You can open this one. You can just swipe this one. You can click on these three dots. You can do the same. You can just swipe, then you can save it if you want as a home screen or apps edge panel. You can save like wherever you will want to save this one, and you can just open that one. So One UI 7 I would like to talk about, like, is the best thing, or you can and I believe like that's the best refined experience you can get from the Android devices, is the One UI 7, and there's nothing that comes close to it. I believe like the AI is so much nice on it. Everything is so seamless. Like I really like, and it's to a point where you just find it productive. And it's not like a gimmicky features that you get in a One UI 7. Obviously there's like AI, there's much more going on with respect to the AI in the phone itself, but nevertheless, like the device itself, with the One UI 7 with multi windows, with pop-up window, like the pop-up window you can just open over here as a pop-up window, and you can just move it wherever you want. You can just make the one smaller, you can make it big, you can just maybe minimize it as an icon. You can again open it. It's kind of a lots of thing you can do with this phone itself. Obviously it's a small screen, so it has some limitations to it, but nevertheless, like it is a pretty great device in terms of that one. So if you talk about the camera itself, so camera is quite decent, I would just say. So there's one feature in the video I would like to show you guys. So like let's say for example, if we have something over here, so you can just focus on it. Like if you're just shooting a video over here, so you have like a one option where you can just like this zoom button over here, where you can just, if you slide it in, so it just slowly just zooms in like a DSLR camera, and you can just set the speed. If you go further over here, so you just get to see the further of the so you get to see the faster speed, and the way you can just come slowly zoom out of that one. If you want, you can just do it quickly. If you want, you can just do it slightly zoom in like that. So yeah, so this is like a very smooth transition, I would just say, that you get on this one. The camera is pretty nice on this one. I have nothing to complain regarding the camera itself. At this price one, I would just say you're just getting one of the greatest cameras. It's not the same level as you get on the S25 Ultra, but nevertheless, it's quite decent. Like if I compare like with the Apple iPhone 16, so I would just prefer this one. You get more versatility because this device is almost the price of the iPhone 16. With like Samsung discount, you're just getting around cheaper than what the Apple iPhone 16 is actually. So you'll just be better off with this device, unless like you're just logged into the Apple ecosystem itself. Then only then that will be just better off with the Apple iPhone 16. But nevertheless, like that software is pretty much limited to like minimal usage, I would just say. Like in a sense, like it doesn't support any sort of multitasking on the iOS. So the battery life on this one is like pretty great, I would just say. It just lasts a whole day with like kind of a medium usage, I can say. Like it's very hard to comprehend, but yeah, if you just it's still like it's learning my usage pattern over here. I'll just know like once it is just completed, so only then I can just interpret the battery over this one. It's been with me since like one day. However, the one thing I would like to mention, the animations are so nice on this one. Like you feel like the 120 hertz display is pretty much well in that regards. And like the animations are very smooth, I would just say, on this one. So once you open and close the app, it's so much smooth. I really like that all one UI features that you get on this one. So we just go ahead and just launch some videos to test the speakers on this one. So today we'll be doing the unboxing of the much anticipated iPhone 16e. So this specific version is the white color with the 256 GB of memory over here. And this was like I've been waiting for a couple of days, and finally I received this one. So you're just getting a couple of upgrades over here in terms of when we compare to the iPhone SE. So this one is like a successor to the iPhone SE, and we just go ahead and just unbox this one. And we'll just see how it looks like in person. So this is my first time that I will be just having a look onto this phone itself. And we just play some music on this one, and we'll see like how this one performs. So the speakers are pretty nice and loud. I would just say these ones are like pretty much comparable to what you're getting on the S25, and this is like one of the best speakers you can get right now in the market itself. Like it's a very loud speaker, and not kind of a loud like where it's like kind of a distortion, but it's kind of a very quality and crisp sound you just get out of it from this speaker. Like it's very loud. Like I would just like to mention this one. So that thing like is pretty nice on this one. Now another thing I would like to mention, obviously the design on this one obviously is wobbly because of this bigger camera lens over here. But either way, if you're the person who's just using the case, so yeah, that issue will be like, I mean, most of the people are using the case with their phone, and I do recommend using the case because these are like expensive device, and to just have a better trade-in value like once the next year comes in. And Samsung is pretty nice in terms of giving a better trade-in values than any other competitors. and that I can just vouch on. And for that, like, you have to just protect the device itself, because it's an expensive phone, and usually you're just using for a whole year, or maybe 2 years, and then people used to upgrade. So that regards, I can say like that issue will be fixed, like if you're just using the case. But if you're not using the case, yeah, there's so the this wobbliness do exists over here as well because of those camera lenses. The question arises like, what can you get at this price point? So yeah, so at the iOS you can just get the iPhone 16, and I would just only recommend that if you're just if you're an iOS person or logged into Apple ecosystem, only then go ahead and just get the Apple iPhone 16. But nevertheless, this device, S25, is much more capable and future proof than the iPhone 16. Like, it has the 120 hertz display, and like that's like a that's kind of a, like, in 2025 breaks or makes your user experience, I would just say. Like, once you have used like a 120 hertz display, so you will find 60 hertz to be way backdated, I would just say. Like, it looks so much annoying to use these 60 hertz, because that's kind of not that smoothness that you get out of it. And at that price point, like the iPhone 16, I would never ever go for that one. Either way, I would just go ahead and just get a previous iteration of the iPhone. That would be the iPhone 15 Pro, because 60 hertz, like, is like 120 hertz is like a mainstream, and Apple is like just at that price point. Like, even if you consider other mid-tier phones, they are just coming with a 120 hertz displays, so which are like much cheaper than what the iPhone 16 is. And I'm not sure, it never makes sense like why Apple is just being stuck to a 60 hertz display. And the best thing is that like the people are like still go ahead and just buy those devices. That's how the market works. Like, I'm not sure like why is that so. Like, people are not aware like what they're getting or what they're getting out of their what they're paying for. So for the best bang for your buck, I would just say just search for other options. In this case, like the S25 is a pretty good option that you can get. Like, the Samsung has to offer the around $250 and $250 of discount on the S25 Plus, and then there's $200 discount on the S25, which has like a flagship features, the flagship chip. So it has like the best chip, like the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, unless like Apple, like where it has the like the A18 Pro and the A18. Nevertheless, like A18 is a pretty capable chip. But still, I just go ahead and just get the Android. So why would you want to choose this device itself? Now, the one reason is the One UI 7. The One UI 7 is so much refined experience you can get out of the Android device, and the Samsung is better than what we compared from the competitors. Like, so for example, if we compare the OnePlus, so OnePlus has been a really great device. Like OnePlus 13R and OnePlus 13, both are pretty great devices. But it's still like the refinement in the software is still needed in those. With regards to the Oxygen, it has come a long way. It is a better, but it still is not at that point where the One UI 7 is. So the software is pretty much important once it comes to the devices itself. Once you're just using, because that enhances your user experience. I know like there has been like a lot of Chinese manufacturers like Huawei, like they have a better camera. They have just reached towards like a 1-inch sensor in the camera, but the softwares are not that much optimized up to the level where you can just compare it with these phones. And so yeah, so if you just consider this device, so my answer would be like it's worth it. It has been like since one day with me. I'm really enjoying this device itself. It has all the bells and whistles of the flagship device that you can have right now in 2025. It has latest software, Android 15. You get a One UI 7. You get a decent camera on this one. It's a flagship in a small pack, I would just want to say to this device itself. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can just let me know down in the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching again. Have a good day. Bye.